All right, yo, what's going on, everybody? I think we're live now. Sorry about that. Had some technical difficulties, some battery issues, some other things that came up, but I'm here now. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. It's happy hour, and we made it. We made it to happy hour. It's a short week too, and I'm like, oh, when is this week gonna be over? But today, I'm not going to go with any beer for today's happy hour. Today I'm going to try this stuff that we saw in the video for today, this Unived lab product. Trying to get a view of it on this camera. It's a Unived lab. Let's see if I can get it focused in on there. There we go. Unived lab. This camera doesn't autofocus. At least not the way that I use it for the live streams. So I got to keep doing this and get it back to focus. All right, so that's what we're going to try today. I don't know. I don't think it says on the product what flavor it's going to be. So since Unived does everything from like cocoa turmeric latte to like salted caramel and creamy vanilla and like berry blast, I don't know what it's going to be. So I thought it would be pretty fun to do for the happy hour today. But it has been one challenging week. School started for us this week, and the weather turned. It got really cold here, and yeah, so just a lot of stuff going on. How are you guys doing today? Let's see who's here. We've got Frank LaHoulier, Rain Runner, Not Really Hank Aaron, Chris Yao, stuffing his face with sea salt pop chips. That sounds pretty nice. My mother-in-law did a whole bunch of baking today because I think she's a little bit bored, but also it's just so cold. And so I think she was trying to heat up the house and make it a little bit warmer. There's that constant game that you play in the Midwest. Everyone else in the Midwest knows it. It's a challenge every switch of seasons. Try not to turn on the air conditioning and the heater in the same week. And we're definitely playing that game. We're playing chicken with that game hard today because it's so cold out. It was like mid-40s and just rained the entire time I ran today. But at least I had a good run. Had a lot of fun. Got onto some of that park in New Wine, the New Wine Park. It was super muddy. Not like sloppy muddy, so I didn't feel like I was damaging the trail, but like it was pretty wet and just a lot of fun to be in there. But it's so cold. And so she made oatmeal cookies with cranberries in them, which are delicious. And like me and my father-in-law were the only ones like in the family that like oatmeal cookies, even like of the extended family, like the 20 grandkids, 11 grandkids, and there's like 20 or 21 of us when we all get together, and like all the adults, like me and my father-in-law, the only ones. So like we're super excited. And then she also made more bagels because we ate she made like 24 bagels and we ate them in like a day and a half. So she made more bagels today too. So pretty excited about that. Let's see who else we got here. We got JC Tarantui, Jeff Elliott, Casey A, Kevin Bickerton. What's going on, Kevin? Luis Becerra, Tony Macias. He said, missed the last few days, was able to make it today. How's everyone doing? Good to see you, Tony. Glad to have you back in here. Let's see. Jody Runs is here. Roadrunner Reviews, Meadow 37. You are in the right place. Awesome. Matt852 says, hey, y'all. What's going on, everybody? Terrence said, this is where we talk about all things deep dish. No, not today. All right, I'm going to try to get this thing open. It's got like the plastic film on it, so I'm going to like get that out. And then I did put it in like a clear glass so you guys could see what it's like. And then you use a scoop. It's like a tiny little scoop. This is like a little scoop that well, at least it says it on here, 6 mils. This reminds me of like the little scoops that you get with like kids' toys when you're making like Play-Doh or like clay or something like that, and you're getting like mixed stuff together. One of the things that my daughter had it's like dark colored powder. I was expecting it to look citrusy, but it's not. One of the things that my daughter had was like this. There's a show called Project MC Squared. I don't know if you guys have. If you have daughters of a certain age, you'll know the show. And they're basically like tween girls who are like crime-solving detectives at the same time. And she had like basically a fake chemistry set. So it was like lots of little scoops like this. So here I'm going to get a scoop. Here's what it looks like. It's hard to see. It's like dirt colored. So I'm wondering if it's like a chocolate flavor. All right, we'll get that in there. One thing that I'll say about the packaging is that, like, I feel like this needs to be bigger so that the scoop can fit inside it. That'll be the first thing that I say. Because I already lost the scoop, and I was convinced, I was like, I don't even remember how big the scoop was, so I'm going to have to guess. But here it is. That's a refreshing sound, isn't it? Now, so I'm going to let that stir and kind of like sit for a second. But they were saying, like, you're supposed to take it 60 minutes before a run and before or after you brush your teeth. I can't remember which one, because they said it would it may make your gums tingle the first couple times you take it, so I'm not sure. The whole point of this is that it's supposed to be good for helping your VO2 max. There's a whole bunch of other like things that they're supposed to be good for, but the ingredients are beta-alanine, red spinach extract, KSM-66, it's organic ashwagandha extract, and freeze-dried acerola juice with vitamin C. So that's why I think it's going to be citrusy. But look at the color of that. That does not, I mean, I guess if it were like, it looks like sweet tea kind of, or iced tea. I know those are different things, but let's see how it goes. Cheers to you guys. Hope you guys are having a good week. It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like, kind of like cold tea a little bit. It's got definitely like an herbal flavor to it. And some of the chunks aren't breaking up. That's why I'm stirring it some more. But I was kind of thinking that it was gonna be like Metamucil and come in like an orange tang flavor. I don't know why I thought that, but let's try it. I don't know why I just chugged that, but I feel like stuff like this you're supposed to drink fast. So there's that. I will let you know if it makes my teeth tingle and if my VO2 max increases tomorrow. I don't think it happens that fast, but we'll take it for a while and see how it goes. But the flavor, it just tastes like kind of like medicine maybe, but not in a metallic kind of way, but more like a herbal remedy kind of way. Tastes like a good tea. I feel like if there were sugar in it, I'd like it a lot more. I mean, it could be just like an unsweetened tea. That's kind of like the flavor I'm getting from it. So the color was tea. The smell didn't really have much of a smell, and the flavor was tea. So there's that. So not bad. Steve says, "Hi all, wine o'clock." Yeah, I should have had some wine or something. Frank Luhuder says, "Didn't you have to take it in the morning?" Yeah, that's what it recommended. 60 minutes before your run, preferably in the morning, is like the instructions, which sound very specific. But I was like, I want to try it on the happy hour for today. So yeah, so there it is. Chris Yao says, does everyone's stream start with an ad and then Kafuzi's already well into a few sentences when you get live? Does that happen? Is that what happens to you guys? That's interesting. Let me know if that happens, because then what I'll do is I will turn off the monetization for the people tuning in live, and then I'll just turn on the monetization for anyone tuning in later. So yeah, let me know. Simon Evans says, it looks like poo sample from someone with GI problems. I mean, I suppose it could be. Mark Chancoco says, looks like a Long Island iced tea. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think that it could be pretty tasty in a drink with some other add-ins. Isn't that what you call it when you get like a smoothie from like a gym, and you get like the regular smoothie and you can add in stuff like I want the immunity add-in and then the protein add-in and then give me double like vibrance, and it's just like caffeine. But so yeah, I think it could go with some add-ins, but I don't know if it would like counteract the other stuff that's going on in there. Jeff Elliott says it sounds just like a pre-workout. Yeah, I don't really know what's in a pre-workout. I'm not big into that concept. I mean, as far as I know, a lot of the pre-workouts are just like, sugar loading a little bit. But we'll see. Not really. Hank Aaron says it's going to turn me into a werewolf. Well, I have been getting hairier. I don't know. Plant Power Dan says the beta-alanine is one of the first ingredients. Dude, you're going to be tingling. Is there niacin in it too? Yeah, beta-alanine is the first listed ingredient. I don't see niacin in it, but I don't know if there's niacin in red spinach extract. Yeah, and says Stephen Gersdorf says Kofuzi is doping. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I was like, well, they said they're giving it to their elites too, and so I'm like, well, I mean, I wouldn't think that they would intentionally give me something that was a banned substance. But I know that there are some companies. Well, I know Science and Sport does it. They will batch test, like randomly test their product to make sure there isn't accidentally something that's a banned substance in there. I don't know what's going on that would need to happen, but that's something that they do. I don't remember. I'll have to check again on the Unived site to make sure that they're doing something like that too. But yeah, just because I don't know what these things are. I mean, I think most of these things I've had, well, at least the beta alanine and the KSM 66, the ashwagandha, is in either the recovery drink or in some of the gels. I'm not sure. So these aren't words that I've only seen for the first time, but they're still not like very familiar to me. But yeah, and Plant Paradise is definitely pre-workout. Yeah, okay. Martha says it doesn't sound scientific that you can raise your VO2 max by drinking a supplement. I would agree with that. I mean, I think you got to do some work too, but I forget, there was like 3 or 4 like claims that it makes, but we'll see how it makes me feel. Yeah, I'm not like pre-workout drinks though are a little bit of an uphill climb for me in terms of like getting that into my routine. That's something that I've never been very good at. Even recovery drinks are a little bit harder. But it's, at least then I'm like really tired and thirsty, and so I'm like, well, let's get this down. Not that I need to chug things down, but it's just like, let's make sure I remember rather than just drinking water to drink something else. KCA says, I'm liking my Noon Sport Plus tablets. The immunity line is good as well. I've not tried the immunity line, but I think the immunity line, like a lot of them, the immunity parts, quote unquote, is like turmeric and like something else usually, which I'm not agreeing with that, but I do enjoy those as well. I bought a big supply of Noon, the mango orange. Has a little bit of caffeine in it. That's my favorite one. I can drink that all the time. Onika's Melly says, wait 15 minutes. We'll see if it gets tingly. Yeah, we'll see. Greg Itahara says, trying to focus on a new custom shoe now for a pro athlete, and all I hear is hairy and tingly. The shoes are going to come out looking like the dog van in Dumb and Dumber. That's funny. Not really. Hank Karen says, we're going to have Dr. Kofuzi and Mr. Hyde. Yeah, that's funny. Timothy Betts says, I've been using the Noon Prime pre-workout mix, and that has been working pretty well for me so far. Oh, cool. Sean Marshall says, coffee is the preferred pre-workout drink for Kofuzi. It is. It definitely is. I mean, I guess I could put hot water in this and drink it as like a tea, like an herbal thing in the morning, but then I wouldn't get my caffeine in it. But I suppose I could get caffeine in the gels. I don't know. I really like coffee. Stevie76's glutes are tingly. What are you drinking then? That's funny. Mark Chankoko says, is that stuff supposed to make you faster? If it does, I want in. I mean, we'll see if it makes me feel better. I have a hard time with a lot of these kinds of supplements. And then they also gave me the Colox stuff too, which is supposed to be a lot of their for like rehab and kind of like recovery. So, if I take both of those things at the same time, that can kind of like confuse me in terms of which one doesn't, which one is making me feel better. And Plant Paradise says, if it doesn't have any flavor, you can mix it in with your coffee. I suppose it could, but I think there's like a hint of like a herbal flavor, not herbal, but like a plant type extract, like a tea flavor to it. So, we'll see. We'll see if I add it in there. Sometimes I've tried putting, because I also have in the house OWYN, the Only What You Need, OWYN, their protein powder. It's a plant-based protein powder that's free of the top 8 allergens. So that's why we keep it, the main reason we keep it in the house. Also, it's pretty tasty. And that one, I have the vanilla flavor now. There used to be a cold brew flavor, like a powder, and that I would mix in with the coffee, but it makes the coffee chalky, So like I don't know if I would like it. I know that I don't like it when I mix it in with my coffee. So I don't know if I'd like mix this stuff in with the coffee. I might just it's that I mean it goes down really easy. So I think I could really just like have a little 8 ounces extra fluid on board before I guess it would be not before I head out, because they wanted to do it in 60 minutes. But That's going to be the tricky part, like the 60 minutes beforehand. Let's see. Abhijit P says, which is the most cushioned shoe except Hoka's, and which is the best daily trainer? The most cushioned, I would say, probably be like an Ultra Boost 4.0, a well broken in Bondi, maybe like the Bondi 5 or the Bondi 6. I haven't tried the Bondi 7. The Nova Blast is very soft and cushioned. I would say the Freedom 3s are also very cushioned. Of those, none of those are daily. I guess the Nova Blast is a daily trainer. So of those, that would be the best daily trainer. But the best daily trainer, it's close, I think, this year. Nova Blast and the Pegasus 37, I think, are the two closest. Let's see. Malcolm Kent says, let's see, does anyone else... Oh, I'm feeling tingly. Not in my teeth, though. I don't know if this is just like... I know it's coming, and so I feel tingly, but I kind of like feel... I don't know, something in my... It feels like my skin is getting dry. I don't know if that's it. But, okay, Malcolm Kent says, does anyone else know that their mood is much happier if you get to run, but grumpy if you don't get your workout in? Kohuzi? Oh, yeah, for sure. My wife definitely knows when I didn't get my run in. Because then I'm like, because this week I've been pretty anxious about it because every day it's been raining and the forecast has called for rain. And most of this summer we've gotten very lucky where like it would be like, oh, it's going to rain all day. But like that 2 hours or the hour and a half that I wanted to run, it wouldn't rain, so I can get out there and like squeeze the run in real quick. But times when I can't, I'm kind of like throwing stuff around and I'm grumpy and talking to myself and mumbling. And my wife notices it, and I usually take it out on everybody. So, yeah. So like people kind of know it's something that I'm working on. ARod247YT. I'm sure there's a different way to say that. That's correct. But I don't know. Says hello. What's going on, ARod247YT? Let's see. Frank LaHoulier says, did you take the Colox or whatever it was called? I took a couple of them last night. The pills are giant. They're like horse pills. Or basically, like if you ever had like herbal supplements, it's just like, imagine if you took like a scoop of this stuff and tried to put it into like a gel capsule, but like you still hadn't wanted to have like that full scoop's worth in, it would be a giant gel capsule. That's what it was. So it says to take 3 of them, which I'm like, 3's a lot. But then you look at them and you're like, oh. Because like the reason why I was like, oh, maybe I'll take this because I like the idea of something that could help aid, maybe, I forget the exact ingredients that are in it, but aids in, anti-inflammatories and stuff like that. But it also has, if you take 3, then you get the 1,000 units of vitamin D in it. And I've been hearing a lot about vitamin D, and I've been like chronically low on vitamin D too, from before I was running and even through when I started running again. And I used to have really high cholesterol, not really high. I was as high as a person can be in cholesterol and still be in the normal range. And this was before I started running, and now since I started running, my cholesterol's fine, but the vitamin D is still really, really low. And I'm like, how's that possible? I'm outside like 12, 13 hours a week. I don't get it. So he's like, just take a vitamin. And I was like, okay. I'm like, you don't want to track this down with me a little bit? He's like, just take the vitamin. That's what my doctor said. I like my doctor. He's funny. Let's see. Simon Evans says, if that is the drink that Mo Farah was using, be careful, it affected his hearing. It made him not hear his doorbell. That's so funny. That's funny. That was a good one. I didn't see where that was going. But you got it. Ted Reed says, butter my bread. That's right. Yeah. I think that the butter, like the buttering the bread, I love how Seth has been embracing it in such a very like full 2 feet in. I mean, that he said himself that's how he is, both feet in every time. So I think it's awesome. Innes Dunbar says, I've tried some Vela Forte electrolyte drink mix before a run the other day. Not good. I couldn't even finish it. Oh, really? Oh, I wonder what that's like. Not really. Hank Aaron says, do you have a bucket nearby just in case? Do you guys think it'll come to that? I don't think so. JP says the tingly skin is definitely beta alanine. Yeah, I'm feeling tingly skin. Like I'm feeling it like right here and a little bit right here. It's like it's not itchy, but it's kind of like it's like, oh, it's getting hot in here, kind of thing. Yeah. Justin Swartz, what's your half marathon PR, and when were they? What year? My half marathon PR was from 2019. I think it's like a 1:23. And my marathon PR is a 3:01:53, 3:02. That was also from 2019, earlier in the year. Tony Matthews says, yep, started pre-workout tingles. LOL, arms might start to get itchy. Oh, okay. Casey S says, I'm starting to think about winter running shoes. Wondering if the Peg 37 or Peg Trail shoes will have anti-winter offering. Yeah, they will. I think I saw Ben Johnson was posting about it, that the Peg the Peg Trail 2s, I think those already have a Gore-Tex version. I don't know if it's out already, but he had photos up. So that's coming, and I think the Peg 37 will definitely have a Shield version. I would say that the Shield version is really good if you live in a cold and rainy area, and then anything that's Gore-Tex is what you want if you're going to run actually in the winter, like in snow and slush. What everyone's describing sounds just like a niacin reaction, except in addition to tingly, itchy, it causes a red rash too. Oh boy, what am I in for? I don't see any rash, but I'm really bad. We were talking about it at dinner time yesterday, the fact that I'm a little bit colorblind. I have a hard time with, mainly with blues and purples, but like pretty much whatever I think it is wrong. And sometimes I try to trick myself and say, like, that looks blue, so it must be purple. Sometimes I would have been right. But so I'm 100% wrong when it comes to blue and purple every time. And something that I have a hard time checking out is like, oh, if someone's is like, you know, like if we're talking to like a doctor, like, is your daughter's skin itchy and blotchy? And I'll be like, I don't know. I can't tell. It might normally be that way. I don't know. So I have a hard time with redness and like skin discoloration, and like, you know, when people are like, does the bruise look like it's healing? Is it purple or is it yellow? I'm like, it looks like a bruise. So oh. Plant Power Dan says, yeah, I'm waiting to see how this works out for Mike hammering pre and just chilling. He's gonna need a run after this, maybe during. All right, well, you know what I have after this is I have to sit through a video conference with the teachers, my daughter's teachers. There's some sort of like curriculum meeting going on today. It's not just me, but it's like with everybody. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm gonna have to sit still for a while. J. Mike Remy says, anyone else here have routines, habits, rituals with their training? I like a complete rest day before any race, and my routine has been thrown off. Yeah. I've just been kind of running a lot, and I've been liking fartleks a lot, and it's very different than normally. I have like a plan that I'm on, you know, and so it's just like you just follow the plan. There's like such a comfort to that. Like I don't have to think about what I want to run today because the plan has it written out for me. And like I like the feeling like when you're in a training plan of being tired and like needing the rest day or needing the easy run, you know what I mean? Like I like that feeling. But I don't have a lot of that now. Justin Swartz says, anyone else take a pre-workout before early AM runs? I mean, is that what the pre-workout is supposed to do? Get you like amped up before the workout? Is that all this beta alanine does? Is it just gets you amped a little bit? I have to think about that a little bit more. Steven Gersdorf says, you youngins with your gels and drinks. We used to eat peanuts and suck on the salt and drink some watered down orange juice. I remember when power bars were new. Yeah, I was reading like a case study on power bars. It wasn't really a case study. It was like some sort of like businessy type of like blog post or something, talking about how power bars like really like missed the mark. Like they came out with like a really innovative product, and then like the rest of like the market, like the marketplace caught up to it. Competitors caught up to it, and they just like caught flat-footed. But I do remember when power bars were new. I remember how they used to, you have to eat them really carefully, otherwise you'd lose a filling. That's kind of like that's what it felt like eating a power bar. Let's see. Where did it go? Someone was saying. JC says, Kafuzi, does your mom find the live chat funny? Yeah, I think so. She's here. She's not here today. She had some dental work done, so I think she's. She said she texted me earlier today. I think she was kind of letting me know that she wasn't going to be here today. I don't think I saw her. All right, Avdal23 is here. Yo, what's going on, Avdal? Plant Power Dan says, I once ate a bunch of niacin to come down from a mushroom trip, and it was a really bad event. That sounds like a whole bunch of Alice in Wonderland stuff going on right there. Arnold Allen says, we're in the stream and glutes are activated. Yes, glutes are activated. In the mail today came, I got a whole bunch more packages today. I could have done a whole nother mail time video tomorrow, but one of the packages that came in today, I got one of those resistance bands that people put on their legs, and I did the thing where you like move your legs a little bit and then you come back the other way. And I've seen people doing those all the time before. And I was just like, that just looks so weird. That's a weird stretch. Why do you need to do that? I did it like twice. And then my hips, I was like, oh, I feel it in my butt on the sides. That's activated. That's going on. That's on. I feel it. I was like, what? This is it. This is it. And then I came back to the other side. And then so I went like 2 steps out and then 2 steps back. And I was like, I'm exhausted. So like, I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's going to help out. I'm like, oh, I am really feeling it now. I mean, I feel it with the glute bridges or hip thrust. I don't know which one's which. But I do the one where your shoulders are on the floor. And I did that one. And, yeah, I like that. That one's a good one, too. The clamshells, I always feel like I'm doing those wrong. And so if the side lateral ones with the resistance bands are doing the same activity, I'm not sure that it is, but it's similar. I'll definitely do a lot more of those. So like that worked out for me, and I felt like, now this was all after like I had done my run for the morning, but I felt like waking the glutes back up. You know, it's like the smelling salts for the glutes, I guess. Because if they have amnesia, they need to be like woken up and reminded, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. Andor Kish says, Triumph 18 and Hyperion tempo rotation. Thoughts? I think that's pretty good, because then you got the Triumph 18s, you're going to do your daily training in that, and your long runs in it, and it'll be really good for that. And then the tempo for all your fast stuff, that's good. And then if you're like, it's a shorter, easy run, you can use the tempo for that too. So that's a good 1-2 punch. I like that. Not really. Hank Aaron says, which type of cholesterol high? I don't remember, but I think it was the bad cholesterol was high. Because the doctor was like, hey, you're going to want to keep an eye on that, because we don't want to have to put you on medication when you're like 29. It wasn't 29. I was like 35 when that happened. So, yeah. Sean Marshall says, I'm not sure I understand the butter and the bread saying analogy. I don't watch enough SJD though. It's just a saying, like butter my bread. I don't think he invented it, but it's a saying that he used to say a lot. And I think it struck a lot of people as odd. This is my understanding of where that comes from. So I think he used to say that a lot as just kind of like some people say, when they're getting ready for the big workout, they'll be like LFG, or they'll say like, I like a lot of times on Twitter, I'll use the Simpsons, up and at 'em, up and at them, up and at 'em, up and at them, like that one. I'll use that like for up and at 'em, so it's just like a saying. And I think Seth used to say it a lot, and he would say it like everyone says it, as if, but I don't think it's a phrase that a lot of people use. And then some people, because I think he has a pretty international audience where like, I don't understand this butter my bread. And so like, it just became like their insight. It's like his SL20, I guess, Great Ikahara says, I'm getting tingly and I'm not drinking anything. Drops the mic. Good night, kids. Haha. Martha says, is it male menopause? I don't know. I mean, is this what is taking a whole bunch of beta alanine what a hot flash feels like? I would say that probably does injustice to the hot flash. Suk Chang says, Bo, I'm glad my back pain woke me up at 5 a.m. Hello, Mike from South Korea. Awesome. What's going on? Sorry to hear your back is hurting, though. I know what that's like. Jeff Elliott says, the beta alanine makes his face hot specifically. I think I just have a sensitivity to it. It could be. Husky Runners here. Justin Schwartz says, do you know the caffeine content? In this product, there is no caffeine in it. So, and Lania says niacin can make you feel hot. I do kind of like this idea of like, I do like, you know, maybe it's because you guys have been saying like I'm gonna need to go for a run after this, but like this like tingliness, I could see how it would be like, you know, all right, take this before a run, get you a little bit amped up, I guess. Ted and Ruth says, is there capsaicin chili pepper in the secret pill? I don't think so. I don't know. Gonzalo Lopez says, hello, Kufuzi. I use Clifton 7 for daily use. I need the cushioning. And I enjoy the drop range 5 to 8 millimeters. For starting a marathon 18-week program, what should I add to the rotation? Well, I would make sure that you have at least that Clifton 7, maybe one more Clifton 7 if you really like them. And then if you want to stay in the Hoka family, I would say add in the Rincon 2 to that. That's another one that I would look at for you. Suki Chang says, question. Hi, Mike. Non-running related question here. After many updates, do you like the Insta360 better than the GoPro? No. The Insta360 is just still a lot of work to work with. This week, I did something that I promised myself I would never do because the workflow was miserable. And as soon as I started doing it, I was like, yeah, this is why I said to myself I shouldn't do it. I did my, Brooks Catamount versus the Ultra Superior. And so for both of those days, so I had 2 days of running footage with Insta360, and I needed to then render out all of that and work with both of it. It made the video take probably about 8 hours to make. Normally that kind of video takes about 3 or 4. So like it just takes forever to work with it. I love the results, but I'd rather just work, like my default is to just shoot with a regular GoPro Hero 8. Stevie76 says, I looked back to try to see if this was a non sequitur or where this came from, but I don't know where it comes from. If Amazon sold a civilian version of the Army Robot Dog, I think I'd buy it. I would not. I would definitely not. The Army Robot Dog, like when you look at that, that is Skynet. That's like the beginning of Skynet. Like that is it. Like it can open doors. It can figure out how to open a doorknob. It's like a Velociraptor and the T-1000 combined. Like, I don't know why you would want to bring that in don't bring that in your house. That's going to kill you. That will end up killing you. It's crazy. It's crazy. The scariest thing that I ever saw with like the Boston Robot, I think you're talking about the Boston Robotics, right? Or Boston Dynamics? What's that company name? So they have this robot dog, and they use it they say that you could use it for like sniffing out or finding people in like a earthquake kind of situation, or all sorts of other, because it can go over all sorts of terrain. But they showed the video of the dog opening a doorknob, and then there were 2 dogs together, and then the 2 dogs walked, and one dog opened the door for the other dog so they both can go through. And then in the third door, there was a dude with a hockey stick trying to like push the dog over to show like how good the dog is at balancing itself. And then it wouldn't fall over. And after like 3 or 4 pushes, the dog used the hand or like the claw that it was opening the doorknob with, and it grabbed the hockey stick and took it away from the man, so he couldn't keep pushing him over because it didn't want to be knocked over anymore. And I was like, you're only like a degree of separation away from like, and then it's going to hit you back. So I don't know. The Boston Dynamics is going to kill us all. It is Skynet. Yeah. Chris Dyke should be color your video. Tomorrow should be today's reaction to this drink post stream. Well, maybe. We'll see. If tomatoes are a fruit, then why isn't ketchup a jam? Says Wagwan man, big fan. Awesome. Yeah, interesting. Ketchup is a jam if you think about it. Maybe it's a preserve. I never know the difference between those, really. So, and tomatoes only are a vegetable by Supreme Court decision, but that's another. And I think at this point by federal regulation, but they're not really vegetables. Mark Chancoco says, my training is the same almost every day. Gym for weights and then run 7 miles. Nice. I've been doing my leg exercises just every day. I haven't been like thinking about like, should I make it like regular legs day be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then glute activations Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Like I haven't been doing that. I've been just doing the whole, like my whole little circuit every day. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad for me, but I feel like I have so much catching up to do in that regard that I feel like I just need to do it every day, and then we'll figure it out more from there. But I also feel like it's been making my legs very tired as I've been running lately. So. Christian says, I like a half bag of sea salt chips before the Kofuzi live stream and a half bag during. That's funny. I mean, we do talk about food a lot, so I think having some beforehand and then some during is going to be good. Martha says, now I'm craving sea salt and vinegar flavored chips. We've talked about that before too, and I haven't had sea salt and vinegar flavored anything for a good 6 months. So I am definitely needing it. I just need to tell my wife to put it on the shopping list. But, like, you know, it's like one extra thing to buy when we're already buying so much stuff. But, yeah. Let's see. Chrissy House says, we will be riding those Boston Dynamics dogs once they get their navigation software from Tesla. I really hope, I would love for self-driving cars. Like, I fear Boston Dynamics dogs, but I love and I welcome self-driving cars. I can't wait for that. Yeah. Plain Power Dan said, I just found a peanut butter called Cream Munchie, and it made me laugh, so I bought it. That's a good reason to go for it, I would say. Abhijit P says, Nova Blast versus Adidas Ultra Boost 20 versus Nike's Pegasus 37 versus New Balance 1080 V10. Yeah, I would say buy 2 out of those. You could pick 2. They're all good, so you're not going to make a wrong decision. Let's see. Recycle on Wednesday says, I made peach ketchup once. Fascinating. Was it any good? Did it just taste like peach salsa? That's what I would think it would end up tasting like. Steve thinks the butter my bread thing says, I'm pretty sure it originally came from him literally buttering his bread with his favorite meal. I could see that. Can't remember to the restaurant and the specific meal, but it became a catchphrase for getting it done. That's so funny. Let's see. Matt852 says, the Unived Research Lab is watching this live stream taking notes, and they're like, how is he so calm right now? He should be tingling and fidgeting. Make sure he doesn't brush his teeth tonight. Is that what I'm supposed to be feeling? 'Cause I do feel it. I do feel tingly, and it has traveled downward, so glutes are feeling very activated right now, I'll tell you that. So I'm feeling tingling in lots of places. So, I don't know if it's just like I'm thinking that I'm going to be tingling, but I was not expecting tingling, like in my legs. But I'm feeling that, so. Ben Y says, is YouTube your full-time jam now, Kofuzi? I guess kind of. My full-time jam is to be a stay-at-home, like a virtual school teacher. So that's my stay-at-home jam. My daughter is in 3rd grade. But the way they're doing it with CPS, it's there's not a lot that I have to do for that. She has a couple of periods during the day where she's on her own, so she needs a little bit of like me proctoring. But the rest of it is like, I just make sure she's at the Google Meet and she's fine. And then the baby is she's 4-year-old preschool, so I'm kind of doing that. We're doing like ABC Mouse, doing a lot of reading books. We're doing a lot of Kumon, or that kind of thing, like workbooks. Like her thing that she really likes right now is cutting things out and gluing them into the book, so like cutting and paste. So I think that's good because it's like hand-eye coordination. But like today's activity was like cut out the pictures that rhyme with these other pictures, and so she had to learn like rhyming, which I don't think I think she understands it, but she was like, goat, chair, those rhyme. I was like, no, they don't. How about goat and boat? Do you think those rhymes? No, I think it's chair, Daddy. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it's boat. So we had a little bit of an academic, rigorous discussion about that. So that's kind of my full-time jam, if you want to put it that way. And then since I can't work still, we've been doing some work, but I've been giving that to my guys to do since they're local. Even though our local stuff, we're insisting on doing it remotely. but that's kind of my main thing. And then, you know, I do spend a lot of time doing YouTube stuff. M. Gruner says robot dogs sounds like the perfect ending to 2020. Yeah, I think it's right. Shannon's here. Says, I'm so late. Hi, guys. What's going on, Shannon? Martha says, is vinegar considered spicy in Iowa? There's not a lot of vinegar and stuff. Things are flavored very straightforward here in Iowa. It's I mean, Minnesota is a neighboring state, and like ketchup is like the Minnesota hot sauce, right? Isn't that what they call it? And there's like Minnesota nice, and then there's Iowa nice too, which are kind of very different things. But like, you know, I think culinarily we're very similar. Some things that I think are amazing in Minneapolis though is Hot Dish and Juicy Lucy's. Although I don't eat Juicy Lucy's anymore, but like if you don't know what those are, you should look that up. Maybe I need to do that as a Monday mukbang. Not a Juicy Lucy, but maybe I'll make a Hot Dish and try to get that done. But that is a fantastic. I think there's versions of that here in Iowa, but that to me is squarely Minneapolis. But people do like pickles here. Pickles are big, and in my wife's family, I thought it was an Iowa thing. They like gherkins, like the small, like baby gherkins. So it's like it's a very mild vinegary flavor, not as like strong of a pickling flavor as dill. And I thought everyone in Iowa didn't like dill, but liked like more like kind of like butter pickles or gherkins. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, everyone I know is in this family in Iowa. I know like 3 other Iowans outside of this family. And so, for the most part, you know, it wasn't a wrong assumption. But then my father-in-law was just like, one day he was like, yeah, I like a good dill pickle. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You're like come from a different side of the family. So, we usually spend most of the time with, my wife's mother's side and not a lot with, her father's side. So, I was like, oh yeah, you guys, so it's not like an entire Iowa thing. Everyone likes gherkins. He's like, no, I never ate them until I met my wife. So I was like, oh, okay. All right. But yeah, so I mean, not a lot of like vinegary, pickly things. Although pickling is very popular. Or canning, I guess. Not pickling, but canning. Shannon says, Kofuzi, holy gels, how many did Unived send, and how long will that many last you? The recovery drinks will last me a long time because I don't take them every day. I only take them like twice a week, so that's like a couple months supply. And then the gels, it just depends. Lately, I haven't been going on long runs, and it's been cooling off, so I haven't been taking that many gels. But if I'm running a 70-mile week, I'll probably go through like 7 gels during that time, or 60-mile week. So I'll bring maybe not 1 a day, but you know, on average, probably about 1 a day. So I go through them pretty quick. So I'm glad that they send me so many. Because they're not cheap. They're not the cheapest ones out there. But I do really like them, especially now in this like transitional period, because they're like more, they're less viscous. So they're more like liquidy. And so it's like I'm not bringing water because it's like 50 degrees out, 45 degrees out when I'm running and raining right now. But I'm like, that doesn't mean I don't need hydration. But, you know, having like a couple of ounces of liquid in there while I'm getting the gel, I think kind of makes me feel better about it. So I like that. But they sent a ton. They sent a lot. I feel like they just fill the box. So they're like, I think they wanted to send me this stuff, and then the Colox, and then like the racing singlet, and then they're like, well, we can't just send an empty box. So they like threw in a whole bunch of other stuff, which I'm very grateful for because I like it a lot. Not really. Hank Aaron says pickles, gherkins are good. They're good. They're really good. What's funny is, so like when we get the whole family together, a lot of times before a meal, we'll put out food, like for Thanksgiving, right? So people don't like fill up on like snacks and stuff. A big thing that they'll put out like a big veggie tray, like olives, peppers, carrots, like cauliflower, celery, that kind of thing. And then some like summer sausage and some slices of like a hunk of cheese. The thing that goes the fastest is the gherkins. They'll this family will down like an entire jar of like the baby gherkins before they get through like the cheese and the summer sausage. And I'm just like, oh, you guys love this pickle. So I don't even eat them because I don't want to take them from someone else because I'm okay on them. But everyone else around here loves them. Jeff Elliott says, I had a Spring Energy gel on my last 2 long runs without water, and they work great. Yeah, Spring Energy is a good one too because it's like fruit puree. And I agree with that. That would be a good one. Plant Pyro Dan said, what's your minimum distance for bringing gels? I would say for my 7-mile runs, I've been bringing them. And more often than not, I don't end up eating a gel on that, but I like to have it just in case. So at 7 or 8 miles, I'll bring one. I might not always eat it. Traveletti says, are you running a lot right now, and what are you training for? I'm kind of not running a lot right now. I'm trying to get my knee sorted out. So last week was 6. I think I hit like 59.7 miles or something annoying like that. So I think I hit 60, and that was probably more than I probably should have run given how my leg was feeling. This week, I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know if it's the knees just getting better or if it's all that glute activating I've been doing. But I'm feeling a lot better. So as long as I can manage through this weather, which is pretty nasty lately, I should be hitting 65 maybe miles this week. I'm not really training for anything. I did enter in a 5K competition, which I'm certainly going to lose. So I think like in like 10 days or so, I need to race a 5K virtually. But that'll be fun. So I'm just running for fun, having a lot of fun. I think I'm going to start doing a lot once like I feel like my knee is feeling a little stronger. I'm going to start doing a lot more fartleks just to kind of get to that threshold feeling a little bit more, but nothing too rigorous or structured. Just kind of like, I like 2 minutes on, 1 minute off, or 2.5 to 3 minutes on up to that mark, and then 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half off. Like I like that kind of running. That's fun for me. And I'll do that once or twice a week. Steve says, Science and Sport gels I bought from Amazon have been crystallized. I guess that's why they were cheap. Buy direct now. Oh, really? That's weird. And his number says, Unived aren't easy to buy in the UK. Are they easy to get in the US? Sometimes. I've been getting them mostly from Amazon. That's where I get it from. And sometimes like I can find the recovery mix. That's my favorite of their products. I can always find some of it there, but I can't always get the flavor that I want. So I might end up buying like cocoa turmeric 3 times in a row. Because then, and even if I wanted to switch it up and get some of the vanilla. So that's kind of like the issue that I get into. They've always been supplying me very well with gels, so I don't think I've ever even bought the gels on my own. I'm not sure. But the recovery drink, I'm always like, I need more. I need more of that stuff. Yeah. Kurt C says, I've been thinking of trying Unived out a bit. What's the post-run stuff like in terms of taste? Which do you like best? Most vanilla ones have a gritty taste, so I don't love them. Yeah, both of them are a little bit gritty, though, Kurt. So that's just something that they're to get over, I guess, with these. So that's like, it's not like some recovery drinks I like to drink fast. Some I like to just sip on, like smoothies after a workout. I like to just sip on because they're delicious. But most recovery drinks, like a powder stuff, I usually kind of drink it somewhat fast, and this kind of falls in that category too. In terms of taste, the cocoa turmeric one tastes kind of like a chocolate, like a protein powder shake, but it's got turmeric in it. So it has this like kind of like herbally, not metallic, but like there's some other like flavor in it. That's like, I'm like, what is that? Why does it taste that way? This doesn't taste right. But then like you drink it and you're like, your body's like, give me more of that. And so I like that one a lot. The, I think it's called creamy vanilla. The creamy vanilla is good. Tastes like vanilla. I think it also has the turmeric in it too, but it doesn't stand out to me as much. So, if you're a big vanilla shake fan, I think that you will like the vanilla more than the cocoa turmeric. The cocoa turmeric, the first time I had it, I was like, I don't like this. But after that, I was like, yeah, give me more. I like it. M. Grunner says, is the recovery mix good? That's my favorite thing that they make. I like that a lot. Yeah. Let's see. Stephen Gerzer says, activate your glutes for better fartleks. That's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, Martha says, I'll never be able to hear anyone out of this circle talk about activation in the future without cracking a smile, if not laughing. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the appropriate response. Appropriate. I'm cupping my hands again. The appropriate response to the term activation, because it's such a made-up word. I don't, you know. So that was one of my goals in this discussion, is to be like, please stop saying activation, because no one understands what you mean when you say it. Say clench, say flex, say focus on this. You know what I was doing today is who was it? Was it Chris? Someone sent me a link to a video by Kukuzela, the guy that runs barefoot. And, I have a hard time like with the barefoot. People that are like, you got to run barefoot. I don't think he was saying that, but he was running barefoot so that you could see his foot strike a little bit better in this video I was watching. And he was like, think of it like a razor scooter. You should be running, your foot strike should feel like when you're pushing off of like a kid's scooter. And I was like, oh, that makes sense to me. So as I was running today, my knee started feeling a little bit weird for like a second, maybe around mile 7 or 8. And then I was like, oh, kick it like a scooter. And I was like, oh, that feels different. I like that. I feel good. So like, I think that's one of those things that I'm going to tell myself, is to like run it like a razor scooter. So like, I'm not going to say activation. I'm going to say, make sure you have muscle strength, make sure you're a balanced runner. Sorry, I'm like banging cables here. Oh, you know what was weird? Whoa. When I reached over and touched this cable that's making, I don't know if you guys are hearing it, but I'm hearing it in my headphones, the headphones cable. When I touched that and moved and reached out, I felt like a tingle come all the way through. So I'm feeling tingly. Yeah. Let's see. Does the FDA regulate gels, sport gels? You guys are talking about that, but I think I missed the beginning of it. Yeah. Let's see. Twerk your glutes, says Stevie76. That's funny. Yeah, Martha says, keep those cupped hands on your butt where they belong. You know what I do? When I do my glute bridges, I do that. Well, I'll kind of like, when your glute bridges, where do you put your hands? What I do is I'll hold my hands palms up and I'll like do this so I can feel, I'll touch my butt. So I can feel like if it's, flexing, if I feel like the muscles are actually working. So that's like one of the things that, I do. So, yeah. Justin Swartz says, what's your average 13.1 time? Like if I average them over like the different 13.1s I've run, or the pace. I think if you average, I feel like I'm, if I am in a better like level of race specific training, I think I'm kind of like in the 125 range. That's my average, I would say. What's the pace for that? I don't know, like 6:34 a mile, something like that. Let's see. Plant Power Dan said, this conversation is going to inspire the weirdest lunch. I'm going to have PB&J, a slice of buttered bread, sea salt and vinegar chips, and a gel for dessert. Funny. Yeah, I touched my butt. You guys are really keying off on that one. It's a hard discussion to have without being a little bit childish about it. But I feel like, I'm pretty childish, so it's going to get there. Rick Vega says, do you do much mountain running? No, I'm in Iowa and right now, and I normally live in Chicago, so no. Yeah, Bert Liga says, the regulation on gels during a marathon races is maximum 10 gels per hour. Otherwise, it would be classified as an eating contest. Is there a rule against that, really? That's funny. That's crazy. I wouldn't think that there would be. Justin Swartz says, have you ever followed the Yasso 800 method? I think you need to be able to run 10 800s at 6-minute pace to run a sub 90-minute half. I mean, I've not done that before, but when I was in my 123 shape, I could do 10 800s at 6-minute pace, I think. So I think that there is it's one of those weird like magical numbers that I think it works right. I think that it's the other way around though. I think that when you're in that level of fitness, you can do that workout. I don't think doing that workout gets you to that level of fitness. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a small nuance. Maybe I'm making a distinction that there is when there isn't one. But that's kind of how I feel about it. All right. Yeah. I wonder how many gels Joey Chestnut can put down, Steven Gersdorf wants to know. And what would happen to him after. I don't know. DJ Muad'Dib, and we'll end on this one today. Let's say you're marathon training and you're struggling to eat your calorie burn each week. What would you start jamming into your diet? Bonus points for non-sugary snacks. I mean, I guess for I would probably put in a lot of nut butters, lentils, beans, tofu, like plant proteins. That's what I would put in a lot of your diet. Just eat all the time. And then more complex carbohydrates like oatmeals, fruit. I mean, fruits aren't that complex, but stuff that's not like just gels and recovery drinks. So that's what I would look for. But you're gonna be, if you're having a hard time, you're gonna be, you got to think of it like you just got to eat all the time. You got to fuel up. Think of it that way. You got to make sure you're fueled up for the next run. All right. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. We got dates and nuts. A lot of people are saying peanut butter. Steven Gorstuff says cashews. I love cashews. They're so good. Let's see. Adding chocolate milk does the trick. It says H-Town Q. I think that would be a good one to add in some calories. Get some good fats in there and a little bit of sugar too. Yeah, Recycle on Wendy says oil, avocado, sesame seeds as topping on everything. Oh yeah, that'd be good. All right, now I'm very hungry, and I got to get ready for a tingly meeting with the teachers talking about curriculum. Not just me. I think it's a curriculum meeting that all the teachers are putting for the parents to listen to. Anyway, I'm gonna go do that. I'm feeling good. I think I'm gonna be pretty excited to try this before my run tomorrow, because it's an interesting feeling. It's like buzzy, like without having, as far as I know, like caffeine in it. So there it is. Sorry, taking forever to say goodbye. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there. I'll have a video tomorrow in the morning. That should be a fun one. And then we'll do another live stream in the afternoon, same time. Be safe, everybody. See you in the next one. Thanks.